Okay, well, start. Welcome everyone. Present. Apologies. Councillor Nixon is an apology. She has a leave of absence in. Councillor Bell, unsure. Okay. So, okay, we'll wait till then. Now or? I think we got some. After? Yeah. Okay. Confirmation of the previous minutes. Oh, sorry. So any leave of absences for the next meeting? Any money? No leave of absence for the next meeting?
These pants.
You got a squeaky voice, David, yeah.
Okay, so no leave of absences. Move on to confirmation of minutes from previous meeting. Move Councillor Hayes, second Councillor Goodwin Smith. All ayes in favour? Carried, unanimous. Business arising out of the minutes.
Through the chair, Joe, I just wanted to update us on where we've gone with that place name on the CQ Rock.
Oh, yeah. That did go forward as discussed as an agenda item for the CQ Regional Council's meeting, and what was pleasing is the recommendation to take that forward as a more regional issue was unanimously supported by all the councils. So a couple of actions will be that we will get, I can't remember her name, Kerry, was it Lynn? Lynn O'Neill from the Spatial Development Team in she sits within an agency in the state government anyway. She will get her to come and talk to us at the CQ Rock meeting to work out, I guess, a really strategic way forward in addressing some of those issues around localities and postcodes. But ultimately, we'd like to see that go forward as a motion to the LGAQ state conference as well.
Okay, any other business arising? All business? Review of outstanding meeting actions. I think there's one action there. So, livability strategy. Daniel, would you like to, I think we're changing the format, is it, or?
Of the livability strategy?
Yeah.
Don't have any update on that at this stage. I can find out something you can move back.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so nothing there. Moving on, material, personal interest, conflict of interest, personal gifts and benefits.
None.
None? Okay, we have a petition.
Yes, Mr. Chair, there is a petition from the residents of Duringa. Petition of residents of Central Highlands Regional Council draws to the attention of the councils the risk to human health, property damage and environmental hazards created by the ongoing presence of flying fox colonies in urban areas and the removal of these colonies regardless of the time of year in breeding cycles. Your petitioners therefore request the council to immediately disperse the flying foxes from Mackenzie Park and out of the urban area of the township of Duringa. It's signed by 120 residents of that region, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Do we make a motion to accept that?
Just received.
Okay,
That's tabled.
as tabled. Yeah, thank
I'll
you.
just note on that matter as well that I heard on the radio this morning, Lachlan Miller talking about tabling that same petition in Parliament this week as well. So that's good to hear that it's been taken up at that level as well.
I think there may be a separate state petition going in, I think. No,
He's received it and it will be tabled this week.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, moving on to communities, the flying fox management upgrade. And Carol, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Council. So this report is in addition to the information I provided at Capella in the last general meeting. So at that stage, our advice was that we were unable to disperse the flying fox in Mackenzie Park due to potential heat and infant young of the flying fox. However, since that time, we've had the Department of Heritage, some officers from there come out. We've also engaged a private contractor to observe and do some monitoring. So at this stage, this report reflects that as of this week, yesterday, that dispersal activities have begun. So timing is ideal with the petition coming in, and we'll be meeting all of the requirements under the Nature Conservation Act during those dispersals. Happy to take any questions, but at this stage everything's going well through the dispersal activities, and I'll be able to provide an update later on to the council to.
Going through, what are some of the conditions which doesn't allow council to move on? You mentioned heat or heat stress. What are some, and young, what are some of the other?
So those are the two main ones, and the third most important one is that we must have a knowledgeable person present. So that knowledgeable person must have undertaken training to be competent and to understand what the complications are with the flying fox when dispersals are occurring. So that's the reason that council at this stage is engaging external contractors to provide that knowledgeable person so that we meet our requirements.
And through the chair, is that knowledgeable person today gain an accreditation for the state government for acceptance that they're a knowledgeable person?
I'm not 100% sure on the actual accreditation, but they have to have done certain training through the state department. Okay. I can find out the name of the accreditation so we're aware that they are, the external contractors have to have a certain level of accreditation.
Yeah, so we can be comfortable that they're knowledgeable.
Certainly can be.
Because Charlie's knowledgeable in flying foxes. People that are knowledgeable, we get emails from knowledgeable people all the time, but are they good is another matter. But what sort of activities, like the dispersal activities, what sort of activities?
Certainly so.
And the timing of activities, when do they take place?
Yeah, the timing will be happening pre-dawn, so the communication has gone out to a lot of these people in Duringa, so they're actually able to come along and watch the dispersals if they wish, but it's excessive noise and lighting that the contractors place around the park to disperse the.
And
So
is
is
that
it noise? Is it like the pots and pans like last time, or is it, what form is?
I understand they have some electronic noise that
Right.
they can direct in certain areas. I haven't actually seen it myself, but I'm told it's quite effective.
Through the chair. Dan, I suppose what I'd like to see happen, and the process that's transpired is probably very, very similar to what happened previously at Duringa. We have a situation where through, I guess you'd say, the natural observers by community and or officers and or other people of the growing flying fox issue, is then sort of, then there's a kind of a delay, and then as more arrive, we get the angst again from the community, so we then get, that comes back through councillors and or officers again. What I'm concerned about is that, I'm not certainly concerned that, this will be the last time this will happen. I'm sure that in different communities or different parts it will happen again. I would be really, really keen to see what our response will be each and every time, so that I suppose that there's not that uncertainty from members of our community, and then ultimately, even within our organisation, about where those mechanisms or trigger mechanisms are, and then ultimately a little bit of the toing and froing about whose responsibility is and what have you. I think it would be, whilst we have a policy such per se, I think there should be, the actions that go with that policy should be also in there somewhere, so that I guess councillors and the community know, likes of our Duringa office, we were there, we've seen them, they want to move them on, and what is the process? And before we having to start, quote names, is there a process we're going to actually log into? Yes.
Through the chair, thank you for your concern, Mr. Mayor, around that, and the planning and environment team are now going to piece together a short-term proactive response. So what we do have is our longer-term Flying Fox management plan, and that looks at the longer-term opportunities to prepare a habitat that's suitable for the region. So what we don't have at this stage is that short-term proactive response, which the team is preparing now. So hopefully within 4 to 6 weeks, we'll have some draft around that, and we'll be able to bring back to council to show you what the proactive response our ranges and council can take, so we prevent this low level response happening again.
That's right, Dan, thank you for that.
Because you're right, Mr. Mayor, our response has always been traditionally rather reactive rather than preventative. And even the park itself, I know that there's some information there about longer term management around Mackenzie Park, but the community had some great suggestions when they were there the other day around maybe removing the species that are attractive for the flying foxes and then replanting that with other species that are less attractive while you get the other habitat up and running. So, yeah, we just, I suppose, yeah, as you're saying, Mr. Mayor, just need to have some sort of plan going forward.
Just one correction in your report by your contractor. It's Ficus microcarpa, not Ficus macrophylla. Two different species, sorry.
So, no, we'll make that amendment. Thank you.
Okay. So, noted report. I don't think there's any motions or anything else.
To the chair, just so that those two things are coordinated, through to the CEO, I suppose, with response to the petition, will that be something that we need to do formally with an advisement of this action, or how will that go?
Through the chair, yes, councillor. The principal petitioner is Mrs. Carol Finger. I think we'll respond to Mrs. Finger as to tabling of the issue and council's current actions in development of the short term. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, noted. Okay, moving on, general business. Any general business? No general business? Okay, late agenda items. We didn't have any late agenda items. We have a closed session. Okay, so we'll close meetings. Thank you for attending the Central Highlands Regional Council General Council meeting.